Howdy folks, Charlie here from Christmas on Crestline. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for tuning in to another water meets electricity episode. We're going to test these waterproofing gaskets we got from Creative Displays, and we're going to see if they work or if I go to the emergency room. One of the two will probably happen. For our animated Christmas light show, we use our own extension cords. We make them from old incandescent lighting. We throw them in the yard. They're already outdoor rated. We don't ever have a problem with them. We actually just did an episode about how you make those. If you're curious how to make your own extension cords for your Christmas light show, I'll put a link up to the video up here. But today we're going to be talking about these weatherproofing gaskets. And here's where they come into play. For most animators, or if you just throw Christmas lights in your yard, or if you use blow molds, whatever, and you're probably going to use common everyday extension cords. Most time it's not going to match. You're going to have a green one or yellow one, a blue one next to an orange one. And when you push them in as hard as you can, you're usually going to get this 1/8 inch or 1/16 inch gap. Well, these weatherproofing gaskets are supposed to go in here, and they're supposed to block all moisture from getting out. Now, a lot of animators will have an issue when it rains, when it sleets, when it ices, when it snows. Moisture gets on the ground, cords on the ground. Moisture gets in there, trips your GFCI outlet, and your show's cut off. A lot of animators won't even have the show on at night if they know they're going to get a bunch of moisture, because they know it's going to pop off, and it's better just for your viewers, for your customers, your tour buses. It's better just to have it off than it is to have it on for half a song. It trips. Run out there, throw the breakers back on. It comes back on, and it trips. So it's a lot easier sometimes just to not even have it on. But these are supposed to solve that problem. So what we have here, a little bit of water. I'm going to plug these into our GFCI, easy for me to say, outlet. And we are going to plug it in these Christmas lights, plug them into the cords, and see what happens. Let me get this set up real quick. All right, got these, got this green one, it's longer, got this plugged into the GFCI outlet. So we're going to take this connector here, and we're going to put it on this male end. And I will plug in the female into it. And yes, much better, perfect. These are plugged in a second ago without the gasket there. There's about a 1/16 of an inch gap. That gap has now been filled by the gasket. I'm gonna unplug these lights. And I like green. Green's my favorite, so we're gonna plug green in here. All right, so we got the green lights on. One of two things will happen here. The GFCI outlet will trip, these green lights will go off, and it'll happen. Or I'm gonna dunk it in this water here, and nothing will happen, and the gasket will have served its purpose. Let's find out. All right. Seems to be working. Okay, so it works. Seems to work anyway. So we got this, got that. Gasket seems to be working. The gasket has perfectly filled the hole. There is no visual signs of a gap at all in there. So right now I'm gonna call this a success and say it works. But just because I want to try it with red, let's try it with red as well. That shouldn't really do anything, I just want to plug the red lights in. So yeah, I'm gonna call that a success, because what we are simulating here is moisture on the ground, your cords on the ground. Moisture is obviously having contact with your cords and with that gap, and it seems to be keeping them out. So as of right now, I'll recommend it and say try it. Also, got some new merchandise in. If you guys, I'll put up a picture of here what these kind of look like. Got some metal koozies. Pretty neat. All right, so I'm gonna call this a success. It simulates exactly what you're gonna go through with your animated Christmas light show. You have your ground contact, you got your moisture contact on the cord, and it's not tripping anything. So I'm gonna call this a rousing success. So another successful, didn't go to the hospital, water meets electricity episode. Also, if you're interested in any of the merchandise, we got these new metal koozies in. We got some challenge coins that'll be out later in the season. Got some hats coming out. All that'll be available through our Patreon page. It's patreon.com/Christmas on Crestline. And I'm telling you right now, that's where we'll be debuting all of our 2019 Christmas commercials. Our first commercial of the year is a home run. You got to check that out. It's phenomenal. Huge fan of it. But yeah, we got some stuff coming out. Got some challenge coins, some shirts, some hats. And we're also having our naming competition on Facebook. That'll be getting over sometime in October, so you can get on there right now on Instagram or on Facebook and vote for your favorite name for our new mascot. The winner is going to be getting some Starburst lights, going to get some new firecracker lights, shirt, one of these koozies. You'll have red, green, and blue to choose from. So yeah, check that out and vote for your favorite name for our new mascot. So for our Christmas on Crestline shout out for Patreon, didn't give a last name, we're gonna call Bob. Bob! Good job being our very first Patreon supporter, appreciate that. So there's different tiers on there that help support the show, appreciate that. So I'm gonna call this a rousing success. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below and I'll be sure to answer them. So Charlie here from Christmas on Crestline. We'll see you in the next episode, guys. Everyday outdoor rated extension cord, which we have 2 of here. Now the problem you get is almost always, especially when you mix different types, you're always going to have about a 1/16 inch of a gap there. That's going to come into play when you have snow, when you have ice, when it rains. That's going to get in there. That's my dog, and he's a barking. I'm going to go on a limb here. I'm going to tell you somebody's in our front yard.